And hello again, everybody. It's Deacon Eric Nelson again for your weekly Sacred Heart Parish live stream. Before I talk about announcements and I'd like to pick your brain on a couple of topics this week. First thing, as you can see, there's no guest this week. I do plan to have a guest next week about a young man who plans to be giving a talk to the men's group here in a couple of weeks. I'd like to introduce him on the stream and maybe generate some interest in that talk that he's going to give. But we'll save that for next week. There's a couple of things I wanted to pick everybody's brain about, so be sure to type in the comments this week. But before I do anything, before announcements or anything, I wanted to take a moment to publicly and personally thank everybody from this last weekend. We had our reception in the hall, in celebration of my ordination. A thank you to everybody who came out and who I'm not really good at this. I get a little embarrassed, but just the love and support I get from everybody last week, from their personal, face-to-face well-wishings to the cards that I received. Those were wonderful. I loved them. Folks after Mass that came by and congratulated me. Thank you so much. There was so much love and support from everybody in the parish. I can't begin to tell you how wonderful that was to me, and how much I appreciate it, and how much of a personal it's like a boost, a boost to the spirit. So everybody survived my homily as far as I could tell, and I even got some wonderful feedback from folks, which is great, because I'll be honest, the whole time during my formation, that preaching's always been the part that made me the most nervous. I would not say I have a talent for it, for public speaking at least. I'm not very good at it, as you can tell, even when I'm talking by myself in my room by myself on the live stream. I still get nervous, twisted and tongue-tied. So, but thank you to everybody who showed support in all the different ways. There's been people online that have been saying congratulations and stuff like that on the Facebook page. Thank you to all you folks. I'm gonna go in there tonight and at least let you know that I did see all the posts, and just like I said, I just want to take a moment to personally and publicly thank everyone who set up for the reception, who made that happen. Thank you so much. That was very wonderful. The hard work you put in there, because I know the gym has been hot here lately, so that makes the work even that much harder. So thank you so much for doing that. Like I said, and everybody who showed up, and like I said, and the folks that didn't, they came and congratulated me, in person, after the Mass, stuff like that. So thank you so much. So enough of that. Just a few announcements this week, and then, like I said, I wanted to pick everybody's brain on a couple of things. Let's see. For as far as announcements, we're still registering for religious ed for this coming fall at the office. Still registering for the expedited confirmation class. That's for adult Catholics. It's an 8-week course for adult Catholics that already have their baptism and first communion. They just lack confirmation for whatever reason it didn't happen. And those classes will begin in August. So get with the office on that. Just to remind everybody again that there's a men's group meeting every Monday, 5:30 in room 1 in the school. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. And probably the biggest thing would be this coming up Saturday. Is that coming? No, not this Saturday. Next Saturday. Yeah, don't make that mistake, Eric. Don't get people confused, Eric. On July 22nd at Our Lady Guadalupe, there'll be an abuse awareness course. 10 a.m. on Saturday the 22nd. It's mandatory for everybody who volunteers at the parish. Now, there's a shelf life on those courses. I think they're 5 years. So if you've just taken it, in the last few years, don't worry about it. You're good to go. But if you know it's been quite some time and you're not sure if you're over the 5-year mark or not, check with the office, find out. It takes them a second, I think, to go onto the computer and find out. And if you do need to take it, definitely set that time aside. I don't think the course is more than an hour or two long. So it's time's worth spent. But like I said, it's mandatory for any kind of volunteer work, not just folks who work with children or ministries that are based around with children. It's any volunteer. So that accounts lectors, any liturgical, Eucharistic ministers, choir. If you work in the office, if you work religious ed, if you volunteer to help, with dinners and things like that, it's pretty much. It is. It's not pretty much. It is. It's everyone. Even I have to take the course. No, you do not need to register. Just show up. That's a very good question. We just got on Facebook. No, you don't need to register. I don't believe so. Well, no, I'm lying. I'm sorry. It says on the announcement to call the church office to register. I didn't think you had to. I thought you could just show up. I was just going to show up. No, call Francisco at the office and let him know that you're going to be there. I'm reading that on the announcement now. It does say talk to the church office to register. So, my mistake. I was going to say just have people show up. But yeah. Give them a call. Get signed up for it. I think me and the missus Deacon I think we still got like another year left on ours, but I think we're going to just go and knock it out, get it done. That way we won't have to worry about it for the next 5 years. So, let's see. Okay, yeah. We'll call them out. Very good. If anybody's wondering what I'm doing, one of the things about the live stream is that I get to see responses on social media live as they're typed in. So that's what I was doing, was reading a comment. So if you never knew that, you can do that. You can make comments while I'm talking, and I'll see them, and I can respond. So, all right, so the brain picking. This is what I wanted to talk to folks about tonight. There's been a lot of people that they say that they actually enjoy this live stream every week. A lot of folks call it a podcast, and it's by definition not a podcast. Let's see, got another comment. We've got a comment saying it might be a good idea to call Our Lady Guadalupe so they have a rough estimate of the number of people going. That's not a bad idea. I would assume our church office would talk to their church office and give them a head count beforehand, but it can't hurt to talk to both offices. I don't see why not. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just to let them know that, hey, I'll be there. Like I said, I would assume our office would give them a head count before we just all showed up. But you're right. Better to cover your bases. Okay, so back to the live stream. So I call it a live stream because basically what I'm doing is they call it streaming. It is live. It goes on the internet and it happens in real time. People can comment and feedback in real time. Where a podcast is normally pre-recorded. It's usually for entertainment purposes only. The live stream, I've always felt that it was about communication. Letting folks know what was going on in the church, announcements, things like that. Ministries, upcoming events, getting to know maybe some of the leaders in the parish, get them to know a little bit better, things like that. So I've always thought of this as an informational thing, not really a podcast, where a podcast has a format usually, and it's entertainment, has goes over usually a specific topic each week or something like that. Now, as time has gone on, we've talked to a lot of people about a lot of different things. There's only so much going on in the parish. So sometimes each week, I kind of don't have anybody to bring on. And so sometimes I'll be honest, there's every once in a while, I'll just skip the week. I'm like, well, there's nothing really to say. There's nothing new, no new information. And sometimes there's illness, sometimes there's a vacation, sometimes I have to be somewhere, and so we skip a week. But I don't know. Are people interested in maybe something more? Is this the way we do things now, the way it should be, and keep it that way? Just keep it informational, short, sweet, let you know what's coming up, call it done. Or are people interested in maybe something a little bit more? I don't know what I would talk about each week. I mean, it could be anything from catechesis to I don't know. People could type in or write, subject matter that they're interested in. I know Father, he had his weekly midweek message. That's what it was called, the midweek message. Father Michael had, and he tried that for a little bit, and it was kind of off and on. And I know a lot of people watch the videos. I don't know how much they enjoyed them, or if that was something they felt like they need. Father Michael once said something to me that I always keep in mind. There's no point of having a ministry just for the sake of having a ministry. So if it's not something fruitful or something needed or wanted, or, I don't see a point of just talking for the sake of talking, which I'm kind of doing right now. So forgive me. But I'd like to know what you folks think. What would you like to see? Is there more you'd like to see on this weekly stream? Is what we're doing just fine? Keep it short, keep it informational. Don't I get enough from enough different? I get my, I get my, I get my Catholic news from Catholic News. I get my inspiration from the Pope's, social media. I don't really need any more. I've got enough coming in on my phone. I don't really need another thing to watch every week. So give me some feedback. I'd be curious, and as if people watch this video during the week, just keep it the way it is, or if there's stuff, if you'd like to see the format change, tell me how or why, or out of curiosity. Next question is social media, and this is kind of one of those things that I've been thinking about the whole time I was in formation. What to do about my own personal social media accounts. There used to be a time, I post personal stuff all the time, things like that. Now I don't. I may go months without posting anything on my social media. I think once again, Father Michael he would use his social media kind of a little bit as a platform for his ministry. He would post his sermons on social media, so if people were interested in that. And I'm thinking to myself, is that something I want to do? Is that something I should do? There's a lot of clergy that don't post anything, really, hardly anything on social media, or have social media accounts whatsoever. Like Father Franklin, I don't think has any social media accounts that I'm aware of. So that's another question I want people think. Is it something? I thought about that. It's like, do I keep my Facebook account personal? Like I said, I don't really post that much on there anymore, or should I use it take it as an opportunity to reach out to folks in our Catholic community as part of, part of my ministry? I'm curious. Like I said, I'd be curious to hear what you think. I know there's the pros and cons to both, and there's a lot of folks out there. There's a lot of I would say, I don't want to call them professional Catholics, but there's folks like, you've got like Bishop Barron, who uses social media a lot, who's very good at it, you got Stefanik, those guys at Catholic Answers, stuff like that. They use social media all the time, and they're good at it. And like, why does there need to be any more people? You know what I mean? Like I said, of course, I'm just a local clergy, so everything I did would be local, but I don't know. Curious to hear your thoughts on it. Just, like I said, I'd like to pick your brain on that. Leave some comments. Tell me what you think. That's it. I don't have a lot. Like I said, next week, we got a young gentleman who's going to give a talk at an upcoming men's group. I think it's interesting because of his age. He's a young man, a teenager, talking about his faith journey, and And I find that, I wouldn't say fascinating, but I find it terribly brave. At his age, I was on no type of faith journey whatsoever. So I find that just the idea of it admirable, and the fact that he's willing to talk about it extraordinary, because I'm over 50 years old and I hate talking in public. So we'll have him on next week, and like I said, we'll have a discussion with him, and I think that'll be interesting. So, all right, folks, I think that's about it for this week. If there's if there's anything I can do for anybody in the parish, please reach out to me, one way or the other. A lot of folks have my phone number. A lot of folks can find me online very easily, social media and stuff like that. So if there's anything I can do for anybody, please let me know. Be safe. God bless, and we'll talk to you soon.